What's going on, guys? Riley from Northwest Strings. Been a while since I said that. I know that. That's for sure. It has been a while since I've said that. But yeah, getting right into it. My buddy Gabe just bought 3 Legend Junior sticks, Legend Junior completes for, I think it's his cousins, he said, or his cousin's kids, something like that. He bought them, dyed them up, or dyed them blue, and then he wants me to string them. So that is what I'm going to be doing. And I figured, why not make a video? I haven't made a video on this channel in a long time. I think like a year. I think the only thing I've really made on that channel, or on this channel, I guess it would be, is the Lax video game reviews. If you haven't seen those, go check them out. They're pretty good. So yeah, let's get right into it. And I'm probably just going to kind of talk about what I've been up to while I'm stringing them. Yeah, so I mean, I really haven't been up to much since I left school. I moved out, came home from school, moved in with my then girlfriend, moved back home for a little bit, and then I think April last year, I moved into a house with some of my buddies where I was at until around, I want to say, July this year. And then I came back home to save some money. The reason that there hasn't been content, or why I haven't been posting videos on this channel, we'll get into the first reason. When I came home from school, I just kind of had no motivation to do much of anything. Like work, hang out with people, be a normal functioning human being. I gave up on a lot of things. I think I addressed that in a different video also. Life happened, and I just ran out of desire to make videos on this channel at the time. And then, there were a couple times where I was like, hey, I need to get this channel back up and running. And it just never happened. There hasn't really been anything going on up here in Alaska where I live as far as lacrosse goes. Our men's league folded. The guys don't show up anymore. Our youth league folded because the guys in men's league were the ones who were voluntarily running it, and they stopped coming to men's league, so they stopped coming to youth and all that. And yeah, everything kind of just slowly fell apart. So as far as like access to lacrosse, it was limited to like me and 2 other people, I think. And now it's me and 1 other person, quite literally. But yeah, so it's literally me and my buddy Gabe, who was my coach at first, and then became my teammate when I moved up to the men's league. And now he is we're still coaching. I coach with him. But yeah, we're still really good friends. We still hang out. We still play lacrosse as much as we can. Yeah, it's basically just been me and him are the only 2 surviving members of what once was Anchorage Lacrosse, which is, if you don't know, that's the name of the city that I live in Alaska. It's Anchorage. But yeah, we were the last 2 members. The only surviving 2. That makes it sound like everybody else died, but they didn't. They just stopped playing and stopped showing up and got lives. Some of them have families. Some of them, just don't have the energy for it anymore, stuff like that. I get that there's probably good reasons why they stopped, but it doesn't change the fact that it sucks for everyone else who still wanted to play, like me and Gabe. From that, we've been trying to start men's leagues, trying to get the guys, the people who still want to play as far as, you know, older guys goes. You know, trying to get them out, trying to get in touch with them, trying to get, you know, figure out when everybody's schedule, you know, works best for trying to put together this new men's league that we've been trying to start. And, you know, it just never really happened. It never really fell into place. You know, people would talk about, oh, yeah, man, we're so about it. We'll do this, we'll do this. And then it would never happen. And then, you know, it's winter for 9 months out of the year up here. So, you know, being outdoors, you know, people have a lot of things that they want to do that aren't, you know, play lacrosse. They don't want to have, you know, a scheduled thing that they have to go to that's not, you know, things that they want to do. You know, because, like, people like to hunt, people like to fish, people like to go camping, people like to go ride four-wheelers and stuff. You know, I feel like I'm saying, you know, a lot, so just ignore that. Try and tune it out if it's bugging you. But yeah, there's things that people like to do that aren't, you know, a scheduled thing, like play lacrosse every week. So it's tough. It's tough to get, you know, everybody together. It's tough to get a definite yes or no from people. And, you know, we're not even looking, per se, for a definite yes or no. Just a maybe would work. Just like a, yeah, I'll try and make it, you know, every other week or every 2 weeks or something. That would be perfectly fine, as long as there was just something. So that kind of fell through, and then it, you know, I've been trying to get something going at the college up here. Something like MCLA level, pay to play. Something. And, you know, our college is actually cutting programs because they don't have money, which sucks. And in my head, the lacrosse program still makes sense viably, like fiscally, because if you make a club team, make it pay to play, and the tuition at our college is so low already, even for out of state, it's only like, I think, 15 grand a year, which is still low, and I think it might even be lower than that. So don't quote me on that. I haven't checked in a while, so I don't know for sure. So the college team is kind of at a dead end right now, which sucks, because I know if it actually started up and had like a sanctioned thing and people could see that there was backing for it, other than just me walking around trying to get names for a list, like, hey, would you play if they got this? They could see it's much more real than that, which would, I think, incentivize it more for them. It would kind of just make it realer in their heads, to me, is the way I see it. And then people would be like, okay, this isn't just something that I'm going to commit to with no promise of anything coming from it. Like, this is a legit thing. It's being backed by the school. Here we go. Like, let's dive in. But I can never get that far. So yeah, the college team's at a dead end as of right now. Other than that, there are times where me and Gabe will go to what is called the Dome, which is like a giant inflated turf field. I'm sure you guys probably have something similar to it around you, and if you don't, you probably still understand what I'm talking about. And then we go there all the time, you know, for the open turf, and, you know, we'd shoot around, pass, just kind of mess around. And we'd always have people coming up to us like, oh man, this is what we need, this is the sport we need here, blah 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 blah. You know, I've been trying to get my kid this, and this. I used to play here, here, and here. It's the same. It's usually the same iteration of the same things that we've heard, and so we don't usually pay much attention to it. We're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, you'll say you want to play, but we'll give you a time and place, and you won't show up 100%. And that's what happens every time. Which brings me to one of our favorite things that we hear all the time from people is there is a military base up here called J-Bear. And there's apparently a group on Facebook called the J-Bear Lacrosse Group. Has 40, I think somewhere between 40 and 55 members. Because I've looked it up. I've searched it up. I'm not in it. You have to be invited to it. And I think they only accept people who are on base, which makes sense. Makes 100% sense. I'm not salty about it a little bit. But we always hear the thing there. It's like, oh, dude, J-Bear's got like a big group of like 50 guys who just want to play lacrosse. I'm going to tell them next time I'm out there on base, and, you know, we'll bring them by, and that'll be your men's league. Which, 40 or 50 people coming down, we could have 2 or 3 teams, you know, respectively. They'd be pretty low on subs, but I'll play. Screw a sub. I'll play all game. I don't care. If I got to play, I'll play all game. See if I care. But, you know, and then we're like, yeah, okay, this is the time next week. This is the place. $10 each person for open turf. Bring your gear and stuff. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell them. We'll get a game going next week for sure. And then we never see the person again. And I say that that's common, where you guys will be like, oh yeah, it probably happened like once or twice. It has happened easily close to 8 to 10 times. The same exact encounter, the same exact word for word experience. You know, and it wouldn't bother us so much if they weren't so adamant about it. Like, hey, no, we'll be there with bells on. We'll be there with 40 people rolling in the deep, Adele style. It never happens. It is not once has happened. Not once has someone from J-Bear showed up. Not once have I seen a guy walking towards us who I've never seen before and been like, hey, what's your name? And he'd been like, oh, I'm blah, blah, blah from J-Bear. Not once. And then, you know, we'll have these other people who just move into town who, they'll have played somewhere on the East Coast or something like that. And, you know, that's cool. Awesome. Good for you. You played on the East Coast. And they'll show up one time. They'll see what our program is, which is me, like I said, me and like one other person. Sometimes 2 or 3 other people filter in and out. But yeah, they'll see what it is and they'll instantly be like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. And then they'll never show up again after that. It's just frustrating, you know? And then, you know, there's some like resource things that kind of bug us. Like, you know, no shade. No shade to Greg or anybody who works at ECD. But, you know, we'll reach out to them and we'll be like, hey, we're trying to start like a youth thing up here. It'd be nice to get, you know, like a bucket of balls. Just a bucket of balls. Nothing crazy, just a bucket of balls. And we'll never get any help. And then, you know, we'll see an Instagram post where they're like, oh yeah, just gave 4 or 5 bucket ECD mints to, you know, so-and-so school in the middle of Maryland in the heart of lacrosse country. They're just giving away lacrosse stuff to small programs. I get it. you know, that's where they're from. That's their roots. Makes sense. Like I said, no shade. I'm not trying to hate on them. I'm not trying to be like, oh, guys, ECD's a horrible company. I love everything that Greg and them have done over at East Coast Dice. I grew up, watching their videos. I learned to string from Greg and his videos. So, no shade whatsoever. None at all. Does it suck a little bit? Yeah, 100%. I'll be upfront with that. But, like I said, I'm not mad at them for it. I get what they're doing. I get that it's tough to look at what we are and where we're from and be like, yeah, let's help them. Because to be fair, from the outside looking in, it's a lost cause, 100%. And if that's what they're seeing when they look at us, I don't blame them, because it is kind of it does feel like a lost cause at sometimes. But we're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop trying to make something happen up here, even if we don't ever get to benefit from it as far as playing time or games goes or anything like that. As long as we set something up for the future of it here, we'll be all right. Which is really what we're is our end goal. Which kind of brings me to where we're at with it now. So where we're at with it now is we actually, some of the guys who used to play on the professional hockey team here, the Alaska Aces, coach hockey camps up here for an organization known as AHA, which it's either the Alaska Hockey Association or the Anchorage Hockey Association. I think it's the Alaska. I think it's the whole state. And they let me and Gabe come out and take these hockey kids and show them how to play lacrosse for like an hour a day. And we get we usually 2, 3, maybe 4. I think one time we had 4 different age groups, which is cool. It's awesome. It's so much fun. It's fun watching these kids get to try something they've never tried before, and then also seeing their progression. It's awesome. It's super dope. And we have a lot of fun doing it too, because we get to get out and we get to run around and shoot around and mess around on a field for a little bit. So we're never gonna be upset about that. Plus, it's like I said, coaching is just super fun, especially when you're coaching kids who have never played before, that think everything you do is insanely cool because they've never seen it before. So that being said, that's really where I'm at as far as my content right now with lacrosse. That's the only lacrosse I'm really exposed to, unless me and Gabe go shooting around somewhere at some local field just on the weekend or something, which I think we're doing on Saturday, and I might throw a little vlog type video together for you guys. If you guys want to see it, that is. I'm not just gonna do it and post it and be like, yeah, well, here you go. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. Other than that, I want to make a conscious effort to post on this channel more. I do that. I do that. I do want to do that. I spent so long growing this channel and building it that it just seems sad in a way to just see it sitting here dormant. So I want to do my best to try and put as much work into it as I can, because I do put a lot of work into my other YouTube, which is what I've really been up to as of late, is streaming on Twitch, making YouTube videos, stuff like that, as far as the gaming content world goes. But I will make a conscious effort to post more on this channel. I hope you guys don't think I've lost my touch as far as stringing goes. I've been stringing up some absolute heat for myself. I might end up just making an updated weapon of choice video with all my sticks in it, because I do have quite a few now. So again, if you guys want to see that, just let me know in the comments, and I will be sure to do my best to get it up in a timely manner. Because like I said, I do have another YouTube channel, and streaming and work and, you know, spending time with my son and hanging out with my new girlfriend. I do have you know, to say, you know, I do have a life sounds pretty pretty rude, but also not true, because I don't have a life. Like I just told you guys that I play video games for sort of a living. But I will make a conscious effort to post more on this channel, and I will record more when I go to these practices and whatnot. And yeah, other than that, guys, I think I'm going to cut this video after I'm done pounding this in, because I think I could sit here and talk while I string all three of these up, but then the video would be like 30 minutes, because I'm sure this video is about to be at least 8 to 10 minutes. But anyways, guys, Legends Junior, these are going out to Gabe's little cousins. I'm just putting some low pockets in them. They've never really played before. Let's see if I can get a better. Yeah, they've never really played before. So, you know, just giving them something easy, simple that they're going to be able to use. Let me know if you guys want to see any of the videos that I've suggested in the comments below. Be on the lookout for more content on this channel. I promise I'm going to post as much as I can on this. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.